titled The Light That Never Fades. In a small town, tucked between fields of green and skies of endless blue, lived a man whose heart burned brighter than the electricity he worked with. He was an engineer in the electricity department, not the kind of job that made headlines, but one that kept homes warm, lights on, and lives quietly comfortable. His name was Madhu. Madhu was not a man of many words, but his actions spoke volumes. His hands were rough with years of labor, yet gentle when he cradled his children. His smile, a soft curve of reassurance, had the power to calm storms at home. He was a pillar, silently holding up a world built on love, values, and undying strength. He married young to Lakshmi, a warm-hearted woman whose laughter echoed through the house like temple bells. Together they had 3 children, 2 sons and a daughter. Madhu was a father who didn't just provide, he nurtured. He woke up early, packed his own tiffin, and rode his old bicycle to the electricity office, rain or shine. Work was never easy. There were days without rest, calls during storms, emergencies during festivals. But Madhu never complained. Promotions were slow. The pressure was high, and there were times his sincerity was mistaken for silence. But he kept going because disappointment was never something he allowed to stay in his heart. He believed every challenge was just another knot to untangle, like the wires he worked with. At home, he was no less a hero. He looked after his aging parents like they were gods themselves. He sat beside them during fevers, whispered stories when they couldn't sleep, and held their hands until their very last breath. "They gave me everything," he would say. "It's my turn now." He raised his sons to be honest, respectful, and kind. He adored his daughter, always saying, "She is the rhythm of his home." When they got married, he welcomed their spouses with open arms, treating his son-in-law like a son, and his daughters-in-law like his own daughters. Respect is not earned by age, he often said, but by heart. And then came the grandchildren, 5 little sparks of joy. He told them stories about simple times, taught them how to fly paper kites, and sneak them sweets behind their parents' backs. They all adored that. To them, he wasn't told he was magic. Even in his old age, Madhu never stopped caring. He attended every school play, every wedding, every small family moment, because family wasn't just important to him. It was him. At 80, surrounded by the love he had built over a lifetime, Madhu quietly breathed his last. There was no fear, no pain, just peace. His soul, gentle and glowing, like the light he spent his life bringing into others' homes, drifted beyond. But something beautiful happened after that. His family still feels him, in the flicker of a lamp during prayer, in the warmth of the morning sun on their doorstep, in the quiet strength that fills the house when someone is struggling. They say when his youngest grandchild cries, the wind carries a lullaby. When his son is confused, a memory guides him. When his wife stands alone in the garden, a flower always blooms near her feet. Madhu may have left the world, but his soul didn't go far. It lingers, tender and bright, watching over every heart he once held so dearly. He is the silent whisper of encouragement, the steady warmth in times of sorrow, the invisible hand that still fixes everything. Because some people don't just live a life, they become a light. And Madhu, he was the light that never fades. Thank you for listening to the story. Please like, share, and subscribe for more videos.